What's up, everybody? Welcome to this our 75 hardcast thing here. What day are we on?
You should be like on day 17, right? 18?
No, it's like day 22. What day are you on?
6?
Here, I'll show you. I'll look up.
Yeah, let me know. I don't have a
Look
camera
it up
good.
so that I remember what podcast, what to name this thing, anyways. Because yeah, let's see. We'll close that, and then this is gonna be kind of hard to find. We'll go to okay. So 21 was yesterday. So I'm on 22.
Yeah.
Day 22. So how's it been going?
I can't even complain. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should complain more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you tired yet?
I'm always tired.
Yeah, me too.
You just got to push through.
Yeah.
Dig deep.
Dig deep and find it. Yeah, I mean this weekend I did like a little bit lesser workouts, I guess. Like I did walking for my outdoor workout instead of like an exercise bike out on the deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I did dumbbells, but I only did dumbbells for a half an hour, and then I did like this ab workout.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
How about that?
It's pretty crazy.
I found another person that tried this before, and they washed out at day 15 too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why did they?
They also did the same thing. They didn't read their book, and they didn't take pictures of themselves.
The picture thing, that one got me twice last time. So the first time I didn't take a picture of myself, I cheated because Declan was using his GoPro a lot.
Yeah.
And I happened to walk by it at one point.
Oh, there we go.
So I counted that. And then the other time, like you filmed me because we were doing a lot of videos.
Yeah.
So I counted that. So it was kind of a cheat. I mean, I kind of pretty much cheated the whole thing last time. I mean, it was partly cheating and partly that I didn't really realize the full extent of the program. And neither did it. I don't think anybody I was doing it with did either, because they were doing stuff like where they were breaking their workouts up. So they would like work out for 15 minutes here, 15 minutes over there, and just as long as they got the whole time,
yeah,
then they would call it good. But he says, I think he says in the book, you have to do 45 minutes consecutive. You know, like I'll take a break sometimes, but not like a long break, like a minute, you know, or like
you have to make sure you breathe in. You don't want to be
or drink water.
Yeah, you don't want to be like doing an anaerobic workout.
Yeah, or sometimes the kids need to be slapped or whatever, you know.
Yeah, put discipline in hand.
Just kidding. Of course, I would never beat them. We use psychological warfare in this new day and age, you know. Put them in timeout, make them think about it.
Made them think about it.
I don't know that that's better, by the way, either. It's just different, you know. But anyways, so yeah, you're on day 6 now.
Yeah,
still going strong. Haven't missed anything else.
No, I've been making it happen.
So did the other person that you talked to? Did they start over, or did they just quit?
Well, yeah, they just quit. But then I told them, like, they were like, "Well, I think I'm about dieting." I'm like, "Why don't you just do it again?"
Yeah.
Why don't you look for my messages on the internet, and it will help motivate you to be strong?
Yeah. What'd they say?
They said, "Do you really help motivate people to be strong?" I said, "No." Talk about aliens.
Did we talk about aliens?
Didn't we talk about the Annunaki?
I mean, yeah, probably. Do you still believe in that?
No, but there is an interesting thing I did find out about them.
What?
That they're the reasons for all the religious texts.
Really?
Yeah, because if you look at all the, like, just a brief overlook, okay, not to deep dive, but like all the religious texts kind of follow the same theme, you know?
A lot of them do, yeah.
A lot of them do, and
so do you think that the original was the Anunnaki?
Yeah, to pray and worship to the Annunaki. But everyone forgot what they were called, you know?
So, well, what do you mean? So you think like Jesus was an Anunnaki?
No, but they have like this all the same all the religious texts kind of follow it. Like they all kind of have a Jesus. They all have like the Quran, minus the Buddhists, because they all kind of have their own thought. But they all kind of have like even like before the Christian Bible was put together, they all have like a guy like Jesus. They all have a flood. They all have
Yeah.
follow these rules.
I've never like actually looked at this, but I have heard this before.
And so what I was told, what last thing I heard was that the Anunnaki were trying, before the technology burned out, when there was the great flood that knocked out the power in the pyramid, was our reset, because the Anunnaki could no longer talk to us or control us after that. And so people wrote down this tale because they no longer had technology, because the pyramids are like conked out, right?
Yeah, so no technology.
So they had to keep writing this story down about gods.
Yeah.
And you know how it happens, handed down. The story changes. That's why every religious text is kind of a little bit different, but kind of a little bit the same. It kind of has some morals, kind of has some, just like if you were the Anunnaki was controlling us, they'd be like, hey, if you guys don't, I'm going to whip you,
So, but like they're talking about, when they're talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so are you saying that Jesus was an Anunnaki or not? Like, or these stories actually happened, or?
No, like there's like a story about like a dude that was from the Anunnaki that was passed down, that was their Jesus.
Well, there's like, but that's what I mean. But
so the story about an Anunnaki or someone that represented either us or them tried to like make peace between the two tribes.
All right. You mean between humans and the Anunnaki?
Between humans and aliens, yeah. Because they were being too harsh on us, like Old Testament style. Like, why did the Old Testament style change in the New Testament? Because they like stood up for us and they're like, hey, we'll follow these rules. We'll get you this amount of gold. You know what I mean? Again, this is not what I believe. This is just something I heard.
Yeah.
Or where people were discussing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the title of the where I got this information was called 3-Hour Anunnaki Conversations to Fall Asleep To.
Do you have weird dreams when you do that?
Yes.
The Anunnaki visit you in your sleep.
Like, hey.
That's not what it is.
You got candy? Nope.
You got any candy?
Dried fruit.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard that like there was wasn't there like an Egyptian Christ?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or, like Christ was before, but I mean, yeah.
Right. But yeah, they had a different name, but it was like the same story. Born into poverty, miraculous birth, born into poverty, unites the people and gives them righteousness.
So you think that Christ was a dude in between the humans and the Anunnaki to help them like come together?
Yeah, maybe to like quit the whippings, something like that.
Yeah.
Because they did say that they were severely harsh. The Anunnaki, one thing did say that they used to be extremely harsh to the humans. Like wipe us all out on a whim, make some more. I don't blame them.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, maybe that's what happened, But where'd they go?
Well, according to the last thing I heard, and the last 5 things I heard, as soon as the big pyramid of Gaza had the blow up in it, they couldn't communicate to space anymore. So they had to bounce because they couldn't fix it.
I mean, they couldn't come down and fix it? Like
apparently they didn't want to.
They were just like, bye.
Yeah, they're just like,
we're out.
See you guys later.
Good luck, everybody.
Well, we broke all so apparently, according to this one guy, when that happened, it knocked out all the power between all the pyramids, the ones in China, the ones in South America. So no longer did the Anunnaki have the big giant power ring.
Yeah. So do you think that was on purpose though, or did they think it was on accident?
It was on accident because a piece of space junk hit us and caused that to happen.
So it was like a meteorite.
Or something. So they, instead of protecting their investment, and going and getting rid of that, jacked up the power grid, and so they bounced.
They're just like, we're out. So what's the evidence of this? Or is this just all conspiracy theory?
The evidence is the burn marks inside of the Gaza pyramid, apparently, and they have like different elements that are in abundance, as if they had boiled over, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they couldn't be from like something else? Or?
No, not really. Apparently, these guys were saying that, and then
Let's see what this says here. It says, mysterious heat patches have been found at the bottom of Egyptian pyramids. Experts are puzzled as to how they got there. A team of architects and scientists have found strange heat patterns in 3 stones at the bottom of the Great Pyramid of Giza. I don't know if that's this is the independent.com.
They also talked about how the shape of the insides of them too, because how is that a burial tomb to be a weird shape like that? Blase, blase, blase.
Well, like I thought I heard that they didn't find any.
That also.
That they didn't find any actual pharaohs in any pyramids.
No, they didn't. Yep, you're completely
so
correct.
why did they always tell us that? Like it seems like over the years you always heard that they were tombs, but then they never actually found any pharaohs in
never
any
actually
of the
found
pyramids.
it. Yep. They all said that they were raided before.
So they said the pharaohs were in there. We'll
Yeah.
see this says the Great Pyramid of Giza was built around 2600 BC. It is the oldest of the biggest of the 3 pyramids in Giza, and takes its name from Egyptian pharaoh Khufu, from whom it takes its name. Well, why'd you guys say that twice? All right, so it takes its name. So it's just named after, and maybe that's why. As a part of Operation Scan Pyramids, the team said that they have concluded the existence of several thermal anomalies that were observed on all monuments during the heating up or cooling down phases. What does that mean?
As the rocks get hot and cold during the days, they have a thermal, and that's another thing that talks about how the power exchange worked inside of them. It helps as it regulated the power exchange, because the way the heat of the sun on the stones keeps them kind of like not too extreme.
So it said in particular that it found an impressive heat spot on the eastern side of the Khufu pyramid at ground level. It also found the anomalies in the upper half of the pyramid. It said the area should be subject to further investigation through the rest of the project, which will last until the end of 2016. Yeah, but we already did that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much more there's there, but
see, so yeah, as you see, they're already doing weird things. They're not saying homie lived in there, because all the catacombs and the caves around, like the Valley of the Kings, that's where they're finding all their cool stuff,
Yeah.
And just the whole, how much it takes to move a 50,000 pound sarcophagus up, down, right through all, you know what I'm saying? Like, not happening.
So on Quora.com, I don't know if this is right or not, but it says here's Quora, okay. Did archaeologists find soot marks inside pyramids indicating the use of fire as a source of light? Oh, well, this isn't what you were saying, is it?
No.
And then this is just whoever's going to answer anyways, I guess. But I don't know, man. It's all pretty weird. It's weird how you have, like, these giant buildings or whatever. But it's like you said, and I've thought about this before. I don't know if you ever thought about our modern way of record keeping.
Right.
But it is, like, very fragile. Even the papers, all the papers that we use, like, a flood would get rid of that.
Right. Adios.
It just, a flood and some currents and all that paper would just dissolve. And then, obviously, the computers are fragile as hell.
Right.
Once again, water will get rid of them pretty, And it's like, even if this is the other thing I thought about, like we're storing all our stuff on these essentially these black boxes.
Yeah.
Like black plastic and metal boxes. Well, like if you found this thing, let's say that there was like an issue and an apocalypse, and then in 100,000 years, some amount of civilization was able to find these things. They'd probably be degraded,
Right.
but it's not like you're gonna be able to get the thing running again, to see like this video.
Right.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
exactly. Well, think about how much technology, like how many generations would it take you to, like, this is my personal thought too. If we did have an asteroid attack us and it big EMP knocked all this crap out, right?
Yeah.
And now we have like 2 or 3 generations down the line. Are they even going to be able to maintain without technology to make it a gain?
I mean, yeah, that it is an issue. And really they say we're getting dumber and dumber because we don't remember things. Like, you remember in the 90s how you knew people's phone numbers?
Right.
Well, now we put it in our phone. Well, that doesn't necessarily like spark memory, It doesn't make us flex our memory muscle, right? And then we're not growing our memory muscle because we're like, well, I can just Google it, so I don't need to remember it.
Right.
And like people used to just know stuff,
Right.
And now they're like,
Google it.
well, I'll just Google it and I won't know it.
Right.
And like they think that it's a problem for our brains. Like we're literally getting dumber because of technology. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
well, that's what. Yep.
like I've heard about this problem, and it is a problem. But yeah, so it's like what you're saying there. It's like if technology went down, well, plus it's like how especially once you start to get into AI, if AI is going to do things like program, right? Will we start relying on AI to do all our programming?
Right.
And then we'll forget how to program. And we've already kind of done that to some extent. You have to think because the initial phases of programming that's not how you do it anymore.
Right, exactly. Yeah, all this GUI got rid of that.
Yeah, because now you have the GUI and you have the step up. So you're at least one step removed. I don't fully know how to program, but I have done like Arduino stuff.
Right.
And you're not writing code in Arduino. Like you are writing code, like you're writing like an if-then statement.
Right, yes.
Right? But that there is an initial code on the Arduino board before that reads whatever you're writing, right? Like, I don't know. I don't understand it fully, but maybe other people do.
Right.
So maybe that's the issue, is it's just education, but I don't know.
Well, and then again, so much is made easy too, like that you don't need to do all this lengthy if this then that C++ stuff where you're just lengthy. Okay, I have to make the color of the thing, I have to make the color of the pathway, I have to like I understand how it is convenient and nice that these things do take over, or that we've been smart enough to make it advance. But yeah, I think it does make you 2 steps dumber because you have to rely on someone doing it right.
Yeah, but it's also like you're not going to be able to do, if you have that backup work, if you had to do all of those extra steps, you wouldn't be efficient. You know what I mean? It would take you to program these advanced programs would be a lot harder.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, I guess you got to take the good with the bad. But if we make AI just fully program all our stuff or other things, at what point are we gonna not bother learning the initial coding? And it's like, well,
or how to look out for mistakes.
Yeah, maybe it won't matter. Maybe we will. Maybe it won't be like the movies.
Like, okay, I had a guy come and look. So someone smashed my desk with a forklift.
Yeah.
And it cut the powers behind my desk. And so I had no power to my desk, okay? Right. And I had this electrician come up to me with his chicken stick. And he's all, you have power. And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's all, look, power, power, power. And I said, okay, buddy.
But the computer won't turn on.
But the computer won't turn on. He's all, the computer's bad. I'm all, okay, man. And I said, okay, what about this light bulb? And he's like, I plugged it into this outlet and it turned on. He's like, okay. And I plugged it in this outlet. It just broke. I'm like, No. So I took it out again and plugged
Yeah.
it back, and it turned on. He's like, oh, wow, it's fixed. I'm like, okay, wow. Obviously, you have been sparked too many times.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy's problem was, but
But then I had another Sparky come and look at it, and he's like, oh, yeah, the cord is broken in the back. I'm all, oh, thank you.
yeah, well, you can't trust those chicken sticks.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't.
He should know that. I'm not an electrician, and I know that.
And that's what I'm
they're
saying.
not.
Like
They're not to diagnose power.
Right.
They're to keep you from getting electrocuted.
right, yeah, and they're
That's
only
it.
they're
So
only
where's his meter?
yeah, that's what they boom.
Like,
Boom,
pull
they-
your meter out. Look, if it has 12 volts AC
Right.
in your plug, your light won't turn on.
Right.
But your chicken stick will go off if
Yeah.
it has 12 volts. If it has but it needs 120 to power the computer, or
Yep.
probably, it's like you got to have more volts.
And what I was saying is that because it was run along another wire and it was inducting on it
Right. Well, yeah.
after a point
Yeah.
because it was like run along it for
Yeah,
25 feet.
Those chicken sticks, they have a high sensitivity.
Right.
And so, like, those things will run on DC. You know what I
Right,
mean? They'll
yes.
run on low voltage.
Right.
And so that's not a good way to tell if you have 120 volts. What if you had a low voltage for some reason? What if it was a bad connection in the breaker? Then you didn't have enough to power a heavy load like
Right.
the light.
Oh, yeah,
But you had
exactly.
enough to fire the chicken stick.
Yep. Yeah. And so that you're exactly right. So yeah, the
computer's
technology
bad. The computer's bad, and the light bulb's bad.
and the light bulb's bad. Yeah, he kept saying everything.
Yeah.
That fan's bad.
Everything's
I'm
broken.
like, what? Dude.
Dude, where's your common denominator at? The common denominator is there's no power here,
All those things are bad. Look, the chicken stick.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness, you're leaning heavy on that
Yeah, dude,
technology.
dude, those professionals are sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, they pay you to do this. Like our forklift died one day and I hot wired it
Right.
because it was the switch, the little key switch was bad. So I just took I took a paper clip and I just wrapped it around the terminals on the back of the key switch. Now the wires that were going into that terminal were probably like 20 gauge.
Right.
Like they were thin, They were not thick wires. I don't know. They had to have gone to a relay or
Right.
something, right? And so I just wrapped a paper clip around it, and then we would just plug it in or unplug it. I couldn't work with where it was. It was right in the middle of the way, so
Oh yeah.
I hot wired it. Then I called the boss and I told him, I said, hey, I just hot wired the forklift because it wouldn't move. Call the maintenance or whatever. So maintenance dude shows up and he's like, did you put this paper clip around this? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm going to have to tell your boss about it. I'm like, I already told him. I'm like, I don't care. Go ahead. He's like, you shouldn't do stuff like that. You're going to get electrocuted. I'm like, I'm not going to get electrocuted through that little 20 gauge wire.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, because it was 24 volts. That's what he said. I'm like, look, dude, like, I've been building robots in my garage for years. Like, I think I'm all right. Like,
Right.
I got this, Like, I get his point, but at the same time, I don't. Because I'm
Right.
like, I'm not all like all these other people. Like, I study electricity in my free time as a hobby, So it's like, dude, and I'm just going to get the thing moved.
Right.
Go tell the boss. He's not going to care. Nobody cares,
Yeah. Well, I even opened up the box for the dude to show him the word, like the wire was jacked up, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, you have a clean wrench?" And I'm like, "How do you say it? However you say the name of
Yeah.
it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Well, that's an electrician's tool," and I'm like, "Dickhead, I know what I'm talking about." Like.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, do you have any black tape?" I'm like, "Man, did you come with anything?"
No, I mean, it sounds like this dude was just like the he rode the short bus over there or something.
Oh yeah,
Like, I mean, I don't know why they would send him.
yeah.
Sounds like he needs to get a new job. Really.
Definitely. Then the next day we
He's
got
not
a
good
different
at it.
dude, and that guy, what was his name? And I told him his name, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna make fun of him." Oh, please do.
You should have been making fun of him. I would have been making fun of him.
Well, I was.
I would have been like, yeah, dude, everything broke. That's what happened. I'm so sure. Like, come on, man.
I was doing my best
Like,
to keep it calm.
Tear that box apart and fix it.
He started getting pissed. He's like, well, I don't even know why you guys called me. And I'm like, well, because there's no power here.
Yeah.
Well, what do you need power for? I'm like, I have to receive. Like it's
the computer.
Right.
You know? What do you mean?
I need
whatever I want.
all these tools
I gotta
to work.
charge my phone.
Right,
Fix the thing. You know? Who cares?
My Dex port won't work without this.
Right. The hub.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. How am I going to receive all these people?
I'll just tell him to come tomorrow. Hey, everyone.
Did he work for Smith's?
Yeah.
That explains it right there. Explains it all.
And then he had an outside company come and run the wire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So I was like, dope, cool, thanks. He even gave me new shielding and everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who ran the forklift into your desk?
No one wants to. No one cares.
Usually they run it into the door.
Yeah.
Like, all my people broke the door over and over again. They just, I guess, and then the wall. Like they did, like, going out of the back room. They put this low wall. My camera's, I don't know why it's been doing that. But they put this low wall going down. And, you know, like, so they remodeled the store, and at the same time they gave us one of those walkie stackers. Like a week after the remodel, the freight crew ran into that wall with it. And so they freaking, I don't know, this is just what they do, I guess. They get some drywall guy to come and fix it and then repaint it. And then, like, 2 weeks later, they run into it again.
Yeah. Yeah, they hit like
they hit it so many times. Eventually, they just put this metal piece there. I'm like, why don't you guys just cut that off and rebuild it higher? You know?
Yeah.
Put a U in it, and they'll stop running into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. And how hard is it? I don't know. My whole desk was like sideways, and I'm like, there goes all those cords.
Yeah.
All my data wires, you know, like, because it was like curved the wrong way sideways, and sure enough, everything was blacked out black. And I looked, I could see like the whole conduit was like a bungee cord, like tight, like ee.
Surprised. It's lucky it didn't like start a fire. You know.
Yeah.
Didn't like just. I did that too though. My last day at that store, I was like texting while I was using the walkie stacker, and I ran into the power box and like jerked it over. The produce cooler turned off.
Yeah. Because I pointed that out to the electrician too. I'm like, I don't know what they hit. They hit my desk. They hit the power box because the power box is all jacked up too. And like 2 weeks before, that same worker put up a yellow cone like again in the wall there, like bolted it to the ground.
Yeah.
And poof, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like the bolts are sheared off the ground.
Yeah, like the power box I hit, it had those. But I think the nuts just kind of worked their way loose.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I hit it, it just ran into the box. So I hit the pole, and the pole ran into the box. And so it didn't really matter. And I'm like, why are you guys putting a box here anyways? They added that box there. And they put it in the most narrow hallway.
Oh,
in the narrowest spot they could. I'm like, you guys couldn't just like go down 10 feet. It would have been way better over there, you know, but whatever. I guess that's where it had
dollar
to go.
bills talk about where they put power boxes.
Although it did take me like 4 years before anybody hit it. And it was me.
Yeah, I wonder about when I come back from work, I'm like, dang, you guys all complain about who has a license and who doesn't, but whenever I'm not here, you guys smack the crap out of everything. Like, what are those, like, put your face in boxes? Or you put the bird finger on it and it, like, makes you, like, behind it, it's a bunch of pins.
I don't know what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then you got your face in there.
Yeah.
You go, oh, hey, look, there's my face. It's like, that's what it is on every pallet of Coke and Pepsi, like forklift imprint.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, you hit it with the back. Oh, you hit it with the side, you know, or the forks. Like, they hit one so bad, they broke 42 cases. And I was like, how you had to have like had just hatred for it, like drop the pallet on it repeatedly just to mash that many.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, they probably just knocked it over or dropped it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's always when the cameras don't work. Okay. You're just looking out for your buddy. I see how it is. You know?
Cameras don't work back there.
Your buddy sucks at driving the forklift and mash the crap out of everything.
It's really hard to hire people, you know, so we don't want to be firing them, right? Just it is what it is.
Right.
Call the you know, the dude that's using his chicken stick to diagnose.
Yeah, let's call him down here. You'll see.
Like, that's going to tell you what you need to know. You know, that's just stupid.
I get it was a fancy one, but, like, he was relying on it heavily.
Yeah,
like,
well, you can't, and he should know that, because
right.
it's not a voltmeter.
It said fluke on the side.
Like, they do not check how, you know, how much voltage there is. They just check that there is voltage. And it's
right.
like it can be a small amount of voltage, but it's just there to keep you from electrocuting yourself. Most of the time, they don't even turn the power off anyways. You know, I see those guys. They just freaking run with the hots.
Run with the hots.
Why do you even have that? Where's your meter? You know? You don't even need a meter. Like, you know, you can use the computer as a test or the light like you were, you know? It's a test light. What do you think a meter is? It's just more fancy test light.
Well, I had my meter too, that new one, and I was like, do you want to even use this? Oh, got this. Yeah, you do.
Well, maybe you should take that thing apart and figure out how it works. Like, you know, I watch people take it apart on the internet, those chicken sticks.
Yeah.
And then you start to see that it just like, you know, it like this iPad would set it off. And
right.
It's probably using 7 volts. 7-volt batteries, you know, or whatever. Like this freaking headphone would set it off.
Right.
Probably. This is probably using 3 volts. It's probably a 3-volt battery in there, you know, I'm guessing. And it might set it off. I don't know. Yeah, one of these days we need to fix that monitor too. I was thinking about that.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of wondering too, like, I don't know. I saw a lineman out working today, and I was like, man, I wonder if he's got his chicken stick.
Yeah, probably not. What do they have them?
No,
linemen. Like, why would they have them?
Well, like they wouldn't
stick it up there. Yeah. Like by the time they get it close enough to the power line, it's
gonna arc over to him. That stuff is cool. Like I'd probably get fired from watching it. I'd be like, yeah, you're fired.
They'd probably get electrocuted. You're watching it.
I think that stuff's cool, man. Close. Yeah, I would get fired. I would. So you watching that purple flame? Yeah. Yeah,
watching the purple flame. All right. Well, do you want to do bass now? You want to call it a podcast? Or you got?
Yeah, we can call it a podcast. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, we'll do it again. Actually, yeah. I don't think I have to go to lunch with the work, so we're probably not doing anything tomorrow. I guess I'll be alone tomorrow. And it'll be late, probably. But whatever. Okay, bye.
Whatever. Peace.